upgrades.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back yet again for another series review. This is straight from Disney Plus. Believe it or not, I'm talking about Echo. So Echo is a character that we saw originally in Hawkeye. She made her debut there, and this is played by Alicia Cox. That was her first role ever, and this is her second. And so this is basically her story that takes place after Hawkeye and after the events of what happened, and it is very different than what Disney Plus has ever done. But we'll get into that in just a second. I'm going to bring my other two co-hosts in, Vanessa and Jorge. What's going on, you guys?
What is going on?
Hey, this is some craziness. It's what this is. So, so you guys, as you guys are going to be watching it, you're going to be watching the 5 episodes straight. We've already pretty much seen the first 3 episodes, but we've got a good consensus on what we feel about the series, and I'm gonna let them talk first and kind of express what they feel about it, because some of us are fans of like the old Netflix stuff and a little bit more gritty tonally, some great fight choreography, and less on the craziness from a tonal standpoint. But I'll let you guys go and speak. What did you guys think about Echo? I'm gonna go with you first, Vanessa.
So I came into this completely blind. I didn't watch Hawkeye. I kind of stopped paying attention to a lot of the Marvel shows around Moon Knight, Miss Marvel era, just because I never saw She-Hulk or other stuff. So not for any reason, just because I wasn't felt compelled to it. And then Sam was like, "Hey, you want to watch this?" I was like, "Sure, why not?" I love it. It's actually really good. Someone who is a Netflix, like a Netflix Marvel fan, this really reminds me of season 1 of Jessica Jones and season 1 of Daredevil, like a lot. And I love the touches on Maya's indigenous culture, her family. It's really cool. I'm invested in a character I literally didn't know about until like a few days ago. So I think it's cool. I like it a lot.
Yes. Jorge, what about you?
Yeah, no, I gotta echo everything that Vanessa just said. Like, I think this.
No pun intended. This is the second time we've done this.
No, I think this is a breath of fresh air. And it actually, what I think I enjoy most about it is this is a character that I did not care about beforehand. And unlike Vanessa, like I saw Hawkeye, I've seen like all the Disney Plus shows, but I didn't care for her, like for this character. And the way that they've made this show, you care so much about this character. You care about her background. You like there's a lot going on that just sucks you in. And it does it very quickly and not forcefully, which I think is the best part about it. But no, I thought this show was done incredible, very very amazing. Fight scenes were off the hook. I loved, like, love the sound in this show. Like the way that they utilize sound is just phenomenal, especially when you know the more you're learning about the character itself and all that. Like they make you through basically feel what she feels sometimes throughout certain, just with sound, with the way that they're doing it, which we can definitely get into that. But it's, yeah, I love this show. Like this really sucked me in. And I will say, if you've been having like superhero fatigue or all that, this will be a breath of fresh air, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo as well. What they both said. This is a very good Disney Plus show, because it doesn't feel like a Disney Plus show. It doesn't even feel like a Marvel Studios show. They handle it in so many different ways. I mean, yes, this picture alone is speak volumes. I mean, for a Disney Plus show to be able to go MA is really good, because then you can be as raw as you need to be. You can be tonally wherever route you need to be. And that's what we're used to. I mean, you brought it up, Vanessa, like Jessica Jones and Daredevil season 1 were some of the best superhero shows that we've gotten before Amazon brought up like The Boys and all these other amazing shows. And the reason why they worked, because not just the fact that they were very rough edged and very violent, but you could take the narrative whatever way you wanted to. You can make it very real and very visceral. The thing I think that this show has got is they also go from a lineage standpoint of it's indigenous people. And I thought that was really interesting because every single episode shows like a different generation that is connected to the character Maya. And kind of the way they handle that from a cinematography standpoint, from also from a tonal standpoint that connects the character is really good. The other thing I was going to kind of pick to you guys is how did you guys feel about the family dynamics? Because sometimes, you got good action, sometimes you got great sound, but you don't have any good characters. You don't have any good character development. You don't have any progression with it or anything. And with this one, personally, I love the family dynamics. I love who Maya comes from. I love the town that she's connected to. And there's a lot of trauma and pain that's connected to that as well. So, what did you guys think about how they handle certain characters that are connected to Maya within this world so far?
I love the family dynamics. I think I don't know, there's something about them that feels like you don't need a whole lot of backstory or episodes to feel for them to feel familiar to you. They have jokes, they have nicknames, they have things. There's healthy fear of grandmas. There's like arguments. There's long distance. There's jokes. There's just like something that feels so familiar about them, and I love that. I especially love the relationship that the grandpa has with everybody. I think it's super special. I think it's interesting to see who and how Maya is based on her parents and her grandparents and the bond that she has with her cousin slash whatever sibling, I guess. Um, I like it. I love it actually. I think it's smart. That's one of the reasons why I liked Miss Marvel. I think we've talked about this in one of the
Yep.
past reviews. Family aspect is so important, and I'm a DC fangirl, and DC has done a really good job of found family dynamics. I think Marvel's doing a really good job right now of like biological family and like how they can those type of dynamics and how they, even if you're estranged or haven't talked in years, there's still like a familiarity and love. And the fact that at the end of the day, you may have seen someone for 20 years, you're just gonna fall back in and just all right, let's line up, let's roll out. We have stuff to do. So I think that Maya's family is strong despite all the tragedy that they've gone through. They're interlocked in a community in a way that a lot of families aren't built like. Not a lot of families are built like that, and I have to believe that their indigenous culture, the fact that they're Choctaw, has a lot to do with that. Because a lot of indigenous cultures are like that. They are very, very about community. Their family is community. So I think that's really cool to see a Netflix or no, not Netflix, Disney Plus show doing that. It's pretty dope.
So you said it right. It's Netflix. It's Netflix. Jorge, you got anything to expand on that?
Yeah, no, I think Miss Marvel, I think, was the first show that I've seen in a while that really makes you care about the family. Hawkeye, I didn't think they did a great job at it. I could care less about the family aspect from that one. But Miss Marvel was kind of like the first show that you really kind of truly fell in love. And you see it with this one, and you know, a common theme that you kind of see is like it's kind of minorities at the end of the day,
Hmm.
and when you look at cultural wise, a lot of minorities put a lot of emphasis on family, whether you're Spanish, whether you're like African, where like when you grow up in those areas, like everyone always says like families first, and you can kind of see that here because just like Vanessa was saying, like you can be gone for 20 years and you come back and it's just like you just left to go get coffee and you came back type of stuff. Like it family is such an important dynamic, and I think they show that so well. Like this is a beautiful picture when you kind of
Hmm.
look at it, when you kind of have the whole outline of it. And it's just you know you don't see that in a lot of shows, and sometimes when you see it, it's forced down your throat, and you're just kind of like, yeah, I get it. But here they do such a great job at making you feel for a lot of these characters, like and like you were saying, like with nicknames and all that, like you know gonna say it right now, like fan favorite is probably Biscuit. You know, he's
Yes.
um, you know, and once you see the show, you'll understand why. But it, like you can kind of, at least when I see this show, like I can relate a lot to it in terms of, you know, I have, you know, you have an uncle who just gets along with everyone, no matter where he goes. He either knows somebody type of stuff, or you know, you have like your grandfather who knows how to fix anything and everything. And it, you get different relationships like that, and you have little pockets like that. And when you see shows like this, like for me, it just makes me happy and proud that they're, you know, it's not like your typical run of the mill, like what you would expect to see, or like your cookie cutter, you know, like, oh, they're a minority, they got to be the bad guy and they got to be a criminal, and oh, they're probably doing drugs, you know. It's nice kind of seeing, like, in a weird way, like us portrayed in a positive light, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
Mhm.
for me, I think the way that they've done family here has been awesome. Like it's been really, really neat. And I do like that shift that Disney has been kind of like they've been doing it right. I will give them that, because with Miss Marvel they did it great, and with this one they're doing it great. So you know they're definitely not striking out on these, which is a plus.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that's so interesting about Maya as a character, she is not a hero. I don't even necessarily classify her as an anti-hero yet. Um, she has another family, and after she, leaned into that, that made her kind of who she is here. Now, if you've already seen Hawkeye, you know a little bit about what happened to her dad. You know a little bit about her relationship with the big man, as you can see right here, Wilson Fisk. Vincent D'Onofrio is back as Wilson Fisk in not the way that you think, but it's crazy to get an unpacking of how they handle those family dynamics, because he kind of sculpted her into being something a little bit more refined. And that's where the violence kind of comes in. That's where a lot of the inner turmoil as far as her as a character kind of comes in. And they just designed her as a character to be very layered. Like she's not at times likable. She's not at times communicative. Like she doesn't allow herself to be able to feel certain things. But like you said, Jorge, even how they handle sound, and we get a kind of a window into her world, how she perceives everything, how strong she has to be, and at the same time, how scary it really should be for her. But yet she just kind of overtakes it and just keeps moving forward. They handle that really well. But as far as how they're handling the action and the violence and the MA ratings, this does bring you back to those good old Jeff Loeb, Netflix, Daredevil days. And I wanted you guys to kind of talk on how they handle choreography, violence, and tone. I want you guys to kind of bring up tone in this one.
Yeah. I'm gonna say sculpted. Well, some would say sculpted, others would say groomed into a killing machine. Um, the tone is like the vibes that I got, or it gave me like not as creepy as the Purple Man and Jessica Jones, but it gives me those vibes of someone, a man controlling a young woman, making her do what he wants, even if she thinks it's her own decision. I think there's so many ways you could like fail this type of storyline, but I feel like they're going to do it. They're doing it already. In my opinion, they're doing it really well. I think that they're doing an interesting, just little details that I noticed. I was like, wow, he couldn't even be bothered to do this or that. Like he calls himself her family. And but the stark difference between how their family is and how her actual family is so interesting. So I think it's important to see, especially when it comes to ASL, to the sign language that they do. That's such a big part of who Maya is, and it's such a big part of how her family communicates. And the it shows a lack of care, and the way Wilson Fisk thinks he cares, and she thinks he cares, and it doesn't care. And it's so cool. I don't know. I love the way that they build it. It's sinister and it's so sick, and it's like an inverse of like Batman and his Robins. Like I just think it's so cool, and I can't wait to see more of what they do. Like I said, I don't have like any comic book frame of reference. I only know Wilson Fisk from like the Netflix shows, so I know he's got an anger problem. I know he's not he can't love anyone. You can't truly love anyone. He maybe loved Vanessa, but whatever. Anyway, that's how I feel.
That's hilarious. All right.
So I think that is hard to follow up. No, I think the tone in this is it's so different than anything we've seen on Disney. And I
Yep.
think that sets it apart in such a nice way. Um the MA rating, I mean, you see blood. Like and you see it a lot. I think a lot of the choreographed scenes, especially the fight scenes, are done extremely well. Like they don't seem cheesy or like, kind of like, oh, like let's just almost like dance around here a little bit and throw a couple punches. Like you you truly get really nice camera angles and camera shots. We discuss it more in some of our other reviews that we did for this show, but I mean, there was one camera shot that they did that reminded me so much of the Matrix. And
Mm-hmm.
think about what the Matrix did for cinematography, especially like action films. Like it's just kind of neat that just one single shot, which maybe lasted all of 30 seconds, can do so much. And the way that they're playing with sound here to get you more incorporated into these characters, like they definitely stepped it up a whole bunch of notches. And from I think something that I like is sometimes when you see shows like this and they give it the mature rating, it's almost like they go on the pendulum scale. They like go too much, and it kind of just gets over. It's like you're killing just to kill type of stuff. And I think here it's a lot more calculated, and it's a lot like they use the rating appropriately. It's not just like you're getting blood splattered all over the face and it just looks, like fake. Like it looks appropriate. This almost like, and I hope this kind of kickstarts, but this to me kind of shows you that, like if we were to have like a rated R Venom movie, like that would be amazing, you know? When you start using like the R rating in a appropriate way in terms of like for some of the fight scenes or some of the violence that happens, it just gives it that extra bit of depth. Like, and I think that's something that Hawkeye was missing a lot.
Yep.
When you look at it, especially because here we see the one scene where you kind of are seeing it from Echo's point of view instead of from the view that they showed you from Hawkeye. And even there, you see vast differences. Which for me, like it was so nice. So if you've seen Hawkeye, you'll appreciate some of the scenes that you'll see here because you'll kind of see it in a more realistic point of view, I would say.
Yeah. One thing that I did want to kind of show you guys is that if you see this scene right here, and then you take this scene right here, it looks like it's from the same exact brand. And of course, that's Frank Castle from Netflix, and this is the other scene is from Maya. And it's just interesting to see how this very much so models the Netflix. Like, honestly, I think I heard, but I don't know, I can't confirm anything, that they're trying to canonize what the Daredevil Netflix series was to progress it through with this. And so don't be surprised if you see some very interesting connected things to what Netflix built upon. You already see Wilson Fisk here, so you can almost guess what is also in this as well. But my hope in general, regardless of, them taking Jessica Jones or the Punisher or anybody like that, I think just them using the rating well, much like Jorge just explained, there are different ways of making it work. Like Miss Marvel is not a rated R show, but it worked so well because they played to it the perfect way. And with something like Moon Knight, this would have been perfect for, but they didn't go that route with Moon Knight, unfortunately. But they're taking a chance with this, and I just don't know where they're going to handle it moving forward. But I personally am really in love with Echo. Like out of 3 episodes, like pretty much we've kind of left it at like an A to B rating at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I think right now I'm at a B plus or A minus. Like this is a really good series so far. And you guys are gonna get the first 5 episodes straight out. There's no way the 4th episode isn't gonna be a banger. I'm gonna keep it like that. It's just a matter of like how they're gonna end it and then where they're gonna go with the characters. But I'm gonna let you guys kind of give your final thoughts and rating on the season as a whole. Same order, Vanessa.
My final thoughts, I would say this is a really good, strong series for Disney Plus, Marvel Studios. I think after the polarizing, not bipolarizing, the polarizing responses from She-Hulk and some of the newer Netflix shows, I think this one, aside from one thing that I still question, I think that this one is going to be, I think this one will have a more of a universal positive impact. It's really smart, fun show. I laughed a lot, mostly because of biscuits. But Maya is really fun to watch. I think she's excellent. It's really cool that they got an actress who's actually lives this life. Like it just seems so much more natural to her. And it's just really cool to see Vincent as Wilson Fisk again. It's dope. The show is cool. I'm might be back on my Marvel thing again. It might bring me back in. We'll see. Who knows? But
I
I
had
like
to
it.
do it. I had to do it.
Not Vanessa. No. So yeah,
God. Thanks.
my overall rating I think is what, like a low A, high B. I think that's where I'm at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool beans. Jorge.
Yeah, no, I think this show is how Disney Plus shows should be. They don't feel like this doesn't feel cartoony, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of depth to this, and you can it doesn't even feel like it was written by like your normal like Disney Plus like type of writers at the end of the day, you know? It adds an extra layer that's just very nice. Like it's super cool. I love the way that they've been incorporating kind of like her ancestors and all that stuff. Like you're getting to know this new indigenous culture, and they're bringing it to you in a way that's very very easygoing, you know. um Overall though, I mean, with the way that it's been shot, with the actresses, like this is a banger. Like I don't see how this doesn't do well, other than people just not knowing that it's really coming out at the end of the day, because I
Yeah.
think Disney,
Mm-hmm.
they it's and once again we talked about this before, but it's the way that they're marketing this, it's almost like they're not, and by
Mm-hmm.
dropping all the episodes all at once, usually they do that when they really don't care too much for a show. And I think with this one, it's actually going to be for the benefit, because if you had to wait week by week, I think you would end up losing customers that way. But by
Mm-hmm.
releasing it all at once, when people can just kind of like bench through it, I'm super excited to see where this goes and where this like kind of leads. Because right now at the end of the day, like Marvel has been taking a lot of L's, and I think this is just a good breath of fresh air. Let's put it that way. Like, I'm intrigued and excited where this goes. I think overall rating, you know, so far with what I've seen, you know, I'll echo Vanessa. Like, this is either like a very low A or like a super high B. Like, this is just done well. Like, you care for these people, and you really don't know these people from squat at the end of the day. And it's not like they're trying to pull out some random Joe Blow from, like, you know, page 3 of a comic 18 years, like, no, like it's just random family members, and you're like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen here, or like I wonder what's going to happen to this person, or I care for this person, I hopefully like nothing happens here. But no, yeah, this is off. Like I'm very much invested, which, you know, I love.
Yeah, I think this is a really good change of pace that Marvel really needed. And I mean, it honestly feels like the old days, the all or nothing days. It feels like they're back because back in the day when Daredevil would drop like second season, like you get all those episodes at once. So we get to binge that joint and just go in. And regardless if Marvel cares or not, I think that if you guys are watching this, show them that you do care about showing up. Like, watch it. Like I'm telling you guys, we've seen the first few episodes. It is actually really good. And again, it's almost impossible for the fourth episode to be that bad. And so if they got 4 out of the 5 good enough, I think that it's worth your watch. And we've been thoroughly enjoying it. I mean, like I said, A- for me. I can't wait to watch more. So if this is the thread that they can go down, maybe the Marvel Knights, and they've even kind of got like a new brand. I think it's called like Marvel Spotlight. Is that right, you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Keep me honest.
Yeah, Marvel
so
Spotlight.
So if they continue down that road with more things like this, we get more street level characters. This could be really dope. This could be really dope. But don't take our word for it. Go and check it out. It is releasing out this Tuesday,
January 9th.
Yeah, thank you. Because I was like, I don't know if they're gonna do it like 3 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time and then 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I don't know if that's what they're gonna do, but just try to stay tuned for it. And I don't think you're gonna be disappointed. We'll talk to you guys later. We're gonna do reviews for every single episode individually, so you can go and check out our breakdowns. More of a spoiler-filled discussions. Some of them are insane. It's gonna make y'all laugh. Maybe cringe at times too. But yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Vanessa, can you plug?
I'm so good at this. You can find me at Vanessa Shark on Instagram, Twitter. I have a website, vanessashark.com. I also write articles on multiverseofcolor.com. Check out for my latest articles or my latest interviews. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye. Good night. Why does this happen every time?
It's like everything is fine. As soon as you find a spotlight, it's just like, okay.
I know.
Deer in the headlights. Straight up. But yeah, you can find more of Jorge's content as well. He's got a YouTube channel, also Fast Reviews. Go and check out some of his content he's gonna be posting up this year. We got a lot of interview coverage. We got a lot more shows that we're releasing individual reviews for, like True Detective Night Country. If you guys don't know about it, it also very much so relates to indigenous people as well. Very scary parallels, to be quite honest. But yeah, we did a whole breakdown of each one of those episodes as well, so go and check that out when that releases out on HBO. That's a shameless plug. But we're gonna go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace, people.
Peace.
Bye.
Falling out the top of the I can see the skyline, 50 mile radius on my timeline. Ain't nothing on my mind.